Y'all know I'm trying to stack a little more fractional. I reckon most of us are. Price of the 1 ounce getting up there pretty high, so I'm trying to stack a little bit more fractional. Also, I figure, well, if the price goes down, at least kind of dollar cost averaged into it. And if the price goes up, at least dollar cost averaged into it, right? Well, I added to my fractional. I'm trying to fill this here tube. Of course, I tell y'all a problem I got here. And y'all see it here in a second. I got these 5 here. We got, I believe it's 5. Yeah, 3, 5. 5 of these here in the coin capsule. And then, of course, you know, I got a few little things here. And these here in the slab. And we got a slabbed up eagle. And I'm going to leave her in the slab because I kind of like, I don't know if you call it toning. I like the color on it. And I don't know, I'm just kind of odd about if it's slabbed. I didn't pay extra for it, but I'm going to keep it like that. Feel like it maybe give it a little value. And I recently bought this in here. Of course, it's that high relief, and I'd hate to scratch her up. And again, it's slabbed up NGC. We're going to leave her slabbed up. And then isn't here that Perth Mint when it added its own capsule. And I could pull her out and put her in one of my capsules, and maybe I should. It'd make it fit in my tube. That'd be a number 6. And then this in here, that panda bear, that Chinese panda bear, it's a 1/10 ounce. This is back when they actually was a 1/10 ounce, not just 3 grams. Now they're making it 3 grams, I hear. But this isn't a 1/10 ounce, but you see already it's a bigger diameter. They kind of flattened her out. That don't fit in the tube. Well, here's my problem. That's what I bought today. And I know you think, well, why is that a problem? That's just a 1/10 ounce Canadian polar bear. I always try to call it a panda bear, but no, that's a polar bear. A lot different animal. Problem is a couple things. I guess I'm the biggest problem. I don't know, when I buy something, sometime it's in a package and it's all in the original, and I don't know, I just, you know, I got this thing, I don't want to take it out. Because I know myself, I take it out, I'm going to put my dirty fingernails on it. Y'all seen old Stormy's video, he talk about your grubby hands, your ugly claws, and dirty fingernails. And I know myself, I probably would. I'd probably funnel that gold. But I got my fondling gold, not some of the more the eagles and stuff, but 24 karat stuff I try to keep out of my hands. I might scratch her up. Plus, if it's got all this original rigmarole, hoochamadoodle here, assay certificate stuff, I don't know, I feel like, well, maybe other feller, if I go to sell it, he'd like to have all that stuff there, and maybe he wants it not broke out of the seal. So I kind of like to leave it. In fact, I kind of hate that I tore this and open, but I had to do it, test her up. Even the coin guy said, well, when I took it in there, he said, well, it's in that new seal, that mint sealed up. I ain't got a problem. I said, well, no, I opened her up. And he said, well, I still feel like it's genuine. Yeah, I'd buy it and I'd sell it. But like I said, when it come like that and it's all already capsulated and plasticized, I kind of, I don't know, I have a problem breaking her out. So what would y'all do? That's my conundrum here. I want to feel this here too, but I keep buying stuff that I want to leave in the plastic. I ain't paying extra for the plastic, but if it come in it, I don't know. I kind of feel like I lose some value, maybe. Probably not. I know I'm losing space, but it's pretty small stuff anyhow. Other thing about the 10th ouncers, when they in something like these slabs or this here, 10th ounce so small already. Like even in the coin capsule, but especially that's why I like the capsule. If it's out of the capsule, it's real easy to misplace. So kind of like something to make it a little bit bigger, odd as that sounds. So that's another reason you get something like this. I kind of like to just leave her in that. I don't know. Still ain't decided what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to leave it in. And I just going to have to look for some raw coins to fill the rest of it up. And like I said, I probably ain't going to buy no more of these here Chinese panda. I don't really care for the odd size of them. And the other thing is a little bit the purity on them. It is pretty, but I don't know. So that's my latest addition to 10th ouncer club. Let's see what we got. I think we got 5 here, right? We ought to be getting pretty close. Oh yeah, I believe we got her. Look at here. Let's make sure it all got gold in it. We got 5 in the tube. We got 3 in the plastic there. We got the panda bear. We got the tiger. Let's count them up. We got 5. That's 3. Another 2. We got us a full ounce. So that's 1 ounce of 10th ouncers. So that feels like a completion or something anyhow. Finally got 1 full ounce of 10th ounce. Even if they all in different kinds, different size, different shape, different countries. That's kind of the fun part too about these 10th ouncers. You can kind of, in 1 ounce, you can have a little American gold, a little bit this Australian stuff, get you a Canadian, get you, what else we got? You get you one of these here Britannias. Y'all know I like a Britannia. British gold. Get you something like this here Philharmonic. That's the wife. That's hers actually, so I reckon I ain't got an ounce. She got 1/10 of her. Actually, I think, well, she did have one of these here Eagles, but she traded me a 10th ounce for a 1/4 ounce. She's a good trader. She make a good trade. It always seemed to work out for her. She said, I trade you that 1/4 ounce or the 10th ounce for a 1/4 ounce. I said, yeah, I bet you would. And then we got this here maple leaf. I didn't know. I forgot all about that there maple leaf. I do have a 10th ounce maple leaf, so we go with more Canadian. Got a couple Canadians, couple Americans, Austrian, not to be confused with Australian, and don't get them mixed up. They 2 different places. I found that out. Sound the same, but that's 2 different places. Yep. Then you got a Britannia. So that's the cool thing about a little 10th ounce stuff. You can kind of have a little fun with it, collecting from different countries and different mints, different designs, even different designs of the same. Like here it is a U.S. mint, but it's a totally different look from this other eagle. So I think that's neat about fractional. Of course, the complaint I got, and same complaint most, is that generally, I forgot we got a China. We got the China there. So, yeah, the complaint most folk got is they said, well, premium's too high. And I agree, it can be. And generally, I say it'd be better save up and get you maybe at least a 1/4 ounce. But the way the gold price going up, if you can just get a 1/10 ounce regularly, maybe that's a little better way than waiting and price go up. Some of us get priced out of the gold if we do that. So like I told somebody, they said, well, I just stick with the 1/10 ounce because that's all I can afford. I said, well, that's a good way. If that's what you can afford, you just gotta stack your stack. It's all our own personal thing, what you can afford, what's good for you. One thing I had noticed is you shop around, sometimes you find 1/10 ounce, pretty good deal, like this in here, that 4% over melt. And even some of this here, I got nearly an ounce. And between the 1/10 ounce and 1/4 ounces, he made me an ounce, same feller. It's about a 4% over. He seemed like he kind of a little bit cheaper. Of course, this one I bought from him today at 5%. He said he's selling a bit more to fractional these days, so I reckon maybe he's going up on his premium since he moved it through the store. Otherwise, he just have to ship it off to the refiner, is what he said. So anyway, maybe look around if you can find local coin shop that's buying more than he's selling. He might be willing to sell it for a little bit less. If he can get more from you than he can send it off to refiner, he'd probably rather sell it to you. So that'd be my advice. Of course, I ain't an expert, but if all you can afford fractional, maybe shop around, look around, find the cheapest fractional you can get. Of course, I guess that goes for just about everything, whether fractional or 1/4 ounce, 1 ounce, whatever, is you can shop around. Of course, I'm guilty. I picked this in here up and that knocked out all my savings from the lower premium stuff, because I paid over 10% on that. I guess around 14% premium on that. Of course, I call that fractional too. That's just under a 1/2 ounce. But anyway, that's more about the 1/10 ounce on this here video. If y'all want to see some of the other stuff, I'll make a couple other videos on it. So that's the update. Got full ounce 1/10 ouncers, even though one of them's a wife, and she probably will claim a couple more for the end of it. But it's all hers and it's all mine, and in the end, it's all ours. So, all right then, y'all leave down below what you're thinking about, what you think about fractional, what you think about gold price, or anything you really want to share. If I'm just being stubborn, leaving stuff like that and it's plastic, I probably am. Well, that's a little video. All right then, bye-bye.